and so much more. So join us for Freedom Works, The Paul Malloy Show, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Caregivers find the support they need on Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver. Heard every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m., Linda and her caring and knowledgeable guests will bring you education, information, and resources, as well as a shoulder for caregivers. That's Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver, where you can find help and hope every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Ain't it good?
Tune in Saturdays from 3 to 5 p.m. for Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. That's 2 hours of great gospel music every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. All brought to you by the Ozona Pig Restaurant in Ozona. Yes, that's every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. It's Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. Tune in on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Calling all radio enthusiasts with storm claims and legal questions. Join us every Saturday at 2 p.m. on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340 for Legal Candy with attorney Candace Colucci. She's your guide to hurricane-related issues, property insurance law, and more sizzling legal topics. Get ready for a lively legal experience. Make your Saturday sweet with Legal Candy on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Here come the jesters. 1, 2, 3. It's all part of my fantasy. I love the music and I love to see the crowd dancing in the aisles and singing out loud.
Well, had a ho. This is Ian Stevens, Exclusive Entertainment, better known as ISEE, with my sidekick.
Yes, your sidekick, Brandy Joy. It's nice talking to you.
Are you a joy?
I am a joy.
You're not faith, hope. You are joy.
I am joy.
I understand when I looked in the dictionary and I saw the word joy. Your picture's right there.
Oh, thanks. Joy is my middle name.
Is it really?
Yes.
And I already know your real last name or your married last name.
Oh, no, yeah. We don't do government names.
No, we don't do government names.
Incognito.
Excuse me. Assume the position and you touched an officer, so I have to arrest you. You know, it's amazing how lately on Facebook, they're popping up all these cop shows of people who are entitled. And they, they badmouth the customer. Hey, how you doing today? What do you want me for? Can I get your license plate? Why did you see my license for? People, this is a generic PSA, if you want to say. Look on your driver's license, and what does it say? You must surrender your driver's license upon any peace officer in your locale, whether it's city, county, or state, without question. People think they have a right just because they're driving. But see, you got to remember, what happened when you got your license? You had to take a driving test. Yeah. You had to take a written test, right? And then it says to drive is a privilege, not a right. So it's a state allowing you because you now know the rules of that particular state.
Sometimes they're allowing, sometimes they're not. I think we all have different experiences.
Well, yeah, it depends on what the situation
entitled
is.
People are more entitled to have a better opinion.
Well, I don't know about entitled has a better opinion. The entitled means that they just are entitled because they think they are. But I've seen where people, police chiefs and stuff get pulled over and they think they're not going to get a ticket. And I've seen corporals and privates out there on the they still label the ticket. Some of those pop-up videos they have, it says entitled sheriff.
Do you remember the last time you got pulled over but didn't get a ticket?
I did.
I don't.
I've only had maybe 3 tickets in my home. 50 years of driving. This year celebrates
out all of them.
I went to school. I went to school to all 3. My last one was 2022. I was driving a friend's truck because we were filming in Clearwater. We were doing Uncivil War, and I didn't have my car with me, because I was using the production truck. So it was loaded up with all the equipment, so they weren't setting up, and I had to go do something. Mm-hmm. So I asked one of the PAs if I could use this truck or car. It was an SUV. So I used it, and I was coming down, people who are familiar in Pinellas County where CR1 is. I was driving down north of Curlew, and there was a county sitting there, and I was doing, no joke, I was doing a 37 and a 35. Mm-hmm. And he pulled me over 2 miles an hour over.
No way.
Yeah, way, and I
Where's
still got
from?
a ticket.
You got a ticket?
I got a ticket.
Aw.
I cried. I said, Ossifer, I'm not
That's
as stinky as you
extreme.
drunk I am. Really, I
Aw.
only had T. Martinis at 8:30 in the
I
morning.
see.
But my first ticket, I was 21.
Mhm.
And my second ticket was when I was almost 30. And then here I am, 110. And I haven't had a ticket since then. So that was my only 3 tickets my whole life.
Wow.
I'm a good driver. Well-
That's I don't think that's the whole reason.
What do you mean?
And nothing but the truth. I'm just saying.
I'm swearing. Give me a stack of
different people have
Bibles.
different experiences with the police officers.
Yes. No, well,
I've gotten more tickets
Have you
than
really?
walking.
for like jaywalking
than
and stuff?
you've gotten in your life for driving.
Were you jaywalking? In between streets?
My
'Cause
husband got,
what happened?
just say some people get actually pulled over walking for matching the description. It's a real thing.
Really? Just matching the
Yes.
description?
Yes.
So would your husband look like Ted Kaczynski or something?
My family does look like African Americans, in which you will get pulled over sometimes for walking for matching the description. It's a thing.
I got to tell you, I
It's
did
just
get
perspectives and
No, I
experiences.
know. And years ago, as a dear friend of mine, Ron Shipp, who was part of the O.J. Simpson Circle of Friends,
Mhm.
and we were driving down. He was retired. He was LAPD because he was actually testified in the O.J. trial. Same as Ron Shipp. And then about 7 or 8 years ago, there was a big HBO special called The United States versus O.J. Simpson, and Ron was one of the 3 key people because he'd known O.J. since they were in high school up in San Francisco, and when he went down to USC, and then Ron went to Hamilton in LA. Anyway, long story short was I was doing a movie. It was a faith-based movie in 1991 with John Schneider and Mariska Hargitay, and she was just starting on her career and everything. And I took a lunch break, and Ron and I were driving. I was driving my car, which was a Nissan, and Ron was sitting on. And even though Ron's parents were both very dark-skinned African Americans, he was light-skinned. And but everyone on the force knew Ron because he was very popular. He was a sergeant. He was also an instructor at the police academy. So I'm driving down Marshall Boulevard. This is 1993, and I get pulled over by LAPD because they cover that region of Los Angeles. And so the guy says, "Can you step out?" And I looked at Ron. He goes, "Yeah, just step out." So I stepped out. And he says, "Come here." I said, "Yes, Mr. Stevens." He's looking at my license. He says, "Are you okay?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Are you safe?" I said, "What do you mean?" "Yeah, of course I am. It's 2 p.m. I'm safe." And I said, "Are you asking me if I've been drinking and stuff?" He goes, No. I just want to make sure that your personal person is safe. And I said, "What makes you think that?" "Well, you got a black guy sitting in the car." And I looked at him and I said, "Do you know who's sitting in that car?" And his partner was up on the side of my car, and he was gazing in at Ron. And he looked in and he goes, "Hey, Shep, what's up?" And then the officer that was interviewing me went, because he was a field supervisor, he went, oh, man, sorry. And he tried to change his tune because he was going to bust
"I'm
Ron,
sorry, I
thinking
thought
that
you were a different black
he
person."
thought that I was being commandeered. He thought I was being kidnapped
Oh, why?
because of a black man sitting in with a white guy, thinking I was being carjacked.
That's why I was.
It was
meaning
profiling,
about
yeah.
Our experiences are all different.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Anyways, moving past that.
How about show business?
Yes.
That show business.
You're tuned into ISEE Radio.
What's that
with
stand
Ian
for?
Stevens
Ian Stevens,
and
exclusive entertainment.
Yep, and Brandy Joy here.
Brandy the
Happy
Joy.
to be listening and talking with y'all once again. We'll be here for this hour.
Yeah, well, it's a 10-hour show. It's a marathon we're doing today. So just so I let you know. I have to say kudos to my gal here, Brandy, because she's putting in 3 hours tonight. She did. I mean, she was thinking she was with Howard Stern for 3 hours.
Oh,
because she goes from an R-rated radio show to
it's PG-13.
I didn't know
No,
PG-13. Not what I heard tonight.
Well,
that was definitely
that's why
R-rated.
We have our trusted producers here in the studio.
Yeah, I know,
here
they
at
hit the
Tan Talk
button.
Radio.
They hit that button.
And sometimes you got to be, his finger got to be ready.
And I was sitting in my car listening on the way in.
Yeah.
Oh my
sometimes
gosh,
your
I was
finger
like
gotta
shaking
be
my
ready.
head, going, "Man, they're getting away with so much stuff on there."
But it's such a good show. These guys are so funny.
Yeah, they are.
And
They
for
are.
us to just, so the show before us is Stand Up for News, and so we do the jokes and stuff for the
You
news.
call those jokes? Some of them are kind of they
we
fell
take the
flat.
news.
I had some crickets in the back of my car.
Hey, they can't all be zingers.
That's true.
They can't all be zingers.
Zing, zing. zing, zing. Okay.
You know, one thing I say about a joke though is if you
What's
don't
that?
like this joke, there's going to be another one in 7 seconds.
There you go. keeping them honest. You know, that's what it's all about. Well, listen, how's your week been, by the way?
It's been good. It's
Really?
been good. It's been good. You know what?
What's that?
You were talking about O.J. Simpson. And
Yeah.
what reminded me of, speaking of, so what we do on ISEE Radio is we talk about entertainment.
Yes.
And
OJ was an actor.
yes.
And a very good one at that, too.
What was that movie?
Too bad he
with
let
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen.
Yes, they did
What was it?
the
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun series. That's right.
Oh man, we actually have multiple of those movies at my house.
You have them on your house?
Multiple.
Did you know that he retired here in Florida like every other Hollywood actor and singer? It's so funny because they say, oh, you know, Donna Summer died of cancer and she was in Fort Myers, or Leslie Nielsen died of whatever cause and he was in outside of Palm Beach. They come here, a lot of them I come to find out through the routine of the system of Hollywood, whether you're an actor, singer, whatever in the entertainment industry, is that they move to either Texas, Florida, Colorado, or Oregon or Washington because it's tax free. They don't want to get their SAG when they get their SAG residuals. They don't want to get taxed in California because it's 10-12%. So they lose out a lot of money. And there was a point when Matthew Perry, when he went back to his house, he had like 3 houses. One of them was here at Safety Harbor, which is nearby, here in Clearwater. And I remember seeing him on Bay News 9. They were interviewing him why he lived here because Robert Downey Jr. has a place here and right next to John Travolta. They all live here too. And Kirstie Alley drove by her house coming into the thing. Her house is down the street because she was Scientologist. So the Scientology center's right here. So a lot of well-known folks live in Pinellas County. So anyway, they were interviewing Matthew Perry and they said, well, why did you move? He said, well, I really haven't done much since, I did Parks and Recreations and a couple of the community comedy shows and stuff. But, I haven't done much since Friends Design. And I just was tired of the state of California taking, he was making $3 million a year in residuals, just in syndication. And he said, I'm just tired of California taking $300,000 out of my pocket. So he moved out of state 6 months out of the year. That's all it takes.
Well, yeah,
and
as
you qualify.
I'm a realtor.
That's right, you are.
Yeah, I'm a realtor
and one of
here
the
in the
best
Tampa
darn
Bay
ones here
area.
in Florida, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely, and there's great properties that we can get here. There's a lot of land, and of course, the beaches are going to be all brand new.
All brand new beaches?
All brand new.
Why are they bringing
absolutely.
sand from like the granites of
the
Colorado?
sand's there. We got the Gulf of America. We got the Gulf of America. So the beaches are already beautiful.
Top 10 beaches are right here, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Between Clearwater down to St. Pete, 22 miles
absolutely.
of white pipe fine powdered sugar.
And with if you have a property in Florida, generally and have to be a primary residence, you don't have to pay capital gains on that.
That's very true. That's very true. I am a homeowner here, and I'm actually going through a reverse mortgage, which is perfect for me and my kids. And going to spruce up the house a little bit, just kind of clean up the yard and put a deck up. And I mean, the guy down the street made some major coin. The guy across the street, right across the street, built a beautiful pool, put a couple of cabanas up there, and put a big screen TV. We can see this. It's so funny because it's kind of high above this. He's got a big 7-foot fence, by those white panel ones that are really popular. Outdoor. It's an outdoor TV, and they were watching it when it was angled down. But as I was taking the dog out for a walk, I go, oh gee, look, they're watching The Little Mermaid. It's like I felt so intrusive. I didn't mean for Matt and Kim, if you guys are listening, I love you guys. You're great neighbors. And they have these 2 menacing looking dogs. They're beautiful dogs. I think they're like
what kind of dogs are they?
They're like a boxer, I think, but they're real muscular looking.
A pit bull,
and tall like a Doberman, but the head shape is very much like a boxer, and so it kind of look like.
Breaking news: CBS is canceling the Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Oh, all right.
We just got a news flash on our headset.
Yeah, it made me think there was a
I know it said
PSA going on.
CBS is canceling Stephen Colbert. Just came on our headset. Too bad, Stephen. I guess that's what happens when you start being not funny anymore. Too political.
Hey, if you're driving and listening to us here at 106.1 FM, then
and 1340 AM.
Oh yes.
And for those of you like my cousin in California, she said, I'm going to watch your show today. I said, well, call in. She goes, no, I'm not a caller. I just want to watch. So I said, well, YouTube.
Yes.
ISEE Radio. We're on. And it's also archived. So if you happen to miss the show, you can watch it at your leisure, 24 hours, 7 days a week. This is show number 7 for us.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
Yeah, likewise. Feels like just yesterday.
Man, you got a manly shake. I like that.
I was about to say vice versa for you.
Oh, stop.
I get stronger in that wrist.
Well, it's attached to my shoulder, which I still have to get a surgery on.
Oh, dang.
I tore my rotor cup, so I'll do this. I'll do this hand instead.
There you go. There you go.
There's it.
I was about to do that. The dad shake where I shake
No.
your hand and then do it like this.
Did you? Oh, did they say, exactly. My daughter, what does she want? Can you stop by Burger King on your way home so I can have something to eat? A Whopper sounds so yummy right now.
So
I'm on the air. I'm on the air. And yes.
Let her know we said hello and to pick me up some onion rings.
There we go. Yeah. Well, I'm going northbound. You're going. You live south from here, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in Tarpon Springs, the sponge capital of the world.
Yes. What percentage of sponges?
Well, they say close to the market of sponges, it's 70 to 80. It's up there.
I think it's 99.
Is it really that much?
I think it might be 99.
Well, because some of those sponges are made out of synthetics, and whereas the natural sponge that they get them every day. People don't realize, how can they run out? I said, well, the fields are like, I think 10 miles wide and almost 3 miles out to the Gulf of America or Mexico, whatever you want to call it. But the sponges, once they harvest that, they get the full of the boats, and there's like 10 big boats that do the majority of harvest, is that the sponges regrow really quick. It's like a pimple. And once they harvest out, they keep the roots strong with the vine underneath on the ground floor, on the ground of the bayous. And they go in those big tank air pressured suits, and they drop down about 10, 15, 20 feet, and they walk. And the suit weighs 150 pounds. And you get these little skinny Greek guys that get in and go, oh, yes, I put the suit on, I get up in the water, I go down, and I harvest the suit, and I bring them back. And then there's all these great touristy stores that are along the docks. They call them the docks in Tarpon Springs. Great restaurants. My favorite is what's it called? Mykonos. They have really good food. My late wife, who passed away a couple of years ago, she come from a restaurant. If you ever saw My Big Fat Greek Wedding,
yes,
that's my life story. The the EMB, the boy, the Takanis, and the Uzo, and the Yaza, all that stuff. That's my life story. As a matter of fact, when the movie came out, Angie and I had just gotten married. And so we didn't see the movie. And so Angie or someone called me up and said, Ian, have you seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding yet? I said, no. They said, oh, my dude, you got to go see it. It's you and Angie all over. And sure enough, Angie and I went to see it. And we were sitting there with our jaws dropped open, looking at each other going, what the world? Well, I'm not name dropping only because I've known him since high school, but Tom Hanks and I had worked as a consultant.
Amazing.
On
Forrest Gump's my favorite movie.
Well, he was on Saving Private Ryan, and my dad was also a consultant. My dad was a soldier on D-Day when they ran the shore. He got shot and
so I had to go to the White House again and meet the president again.
Again. I was, God, you got that down pat. You cracked me up.
I love Forrest
Well, there you go. And the singing.
So
the singing with the duck soup. Yeah. So anyway, I told him how we met, and so when I found out, I called him. I said, "What's the deal here?" He goes, "Oh, no." He said, "Rita, his wife, saw the play on Los Angeles Boulevard at the Beverly Hills Playhouse, and there was this one woman play called My Big Fat Greek Wedding. We asked her, can you write the screenplay? She said, sure. Her name was Nia Vardolis, and she wrote the play. And they let her. It was one of his first movies. Playtone is his production company. Okay. So that was actually one of the first movies, and it was the best box office hit. Produced comedy by Tom Hanks? Production, yeah. Playtone Productions is his company. Him and Ed Zwick, and Ed's a director. And then
that's a gem.
Yeah, there you go. And they did his homage to himself and knowing rock and roll was That Thing You Do. That was all Tom Hanks wrote it, directed, produced it. He and Ed and all that kind of stuff. But that was an homage to himself, I think, and also. With the Polar Express, that's a Playtone production, and he did that in conjunction, I think, with Disney. But I mean, every character. Look at Polar Express. It was all Tom Hanks. He played the hobo. He played the conductor. He played Santa Claus.
He said, "I'm collecting all of the checks."
I guess. My personal opinion, I think they should have used someone else to play Santa Claus. When I saw that it was Hanks and his voice and a different range and all that kind of stuff.
I went, come
on. I still, even to this day, I enjoy it because my friend Eddie Deason, I've known Eddie for years, which we did Grease 2 back in the day. But he's a boy with the smart, he was a smart boy with the glasses and talk really fast about the locomotives. That's Eddie Deason. Okay. And he lives now in North Carolina, but he does signing shows. He does Comic-Cons and things like that because he was in Grease. He played Eugene, the nerd that all the the guys from the T-Birds at Tees, my buddy Jeff Conaway. Some of you don't know, Jeff Conaway was like my brother from Mother. He's also my son's godfather. Oh. And my son's named after him, Jeffrey. And then
shout out to Jeffrey.
Yes, it is. And my boy, are you watching the show? I told you to watch. I hope you're listening and watching. If you're not, your name is Mud. But anyway, yeah, there's just a lot. When you work in the industry as long as I did since I was a kid, and the history with my family and stuff, to be around those people just was no. People say, "Well, what's it like knowing this person or that person?" It was no big deal.
Yeah, I can't imagine being in LA even, and some of the other places. And
well, now it's a mess. I was there 2 weeks ago, and we did the show remotely, and Brandy was so beautiful. I pay homage to you as you holding down the fort and the table, and I was sitting in a car in Sierra Madre doing across the street from the 4th of July pre-party on the 3rd. The evening. It was actually 2 weeks ago today.
Oh, yes.
And we had a great time and met up with some great old friends that I knew when I lived in Pasadena.
Yeah, you and your family did.
Yeah. My mom and dad were all they're born there, raised there. And we went to the cemetery in Sierra Madre, and I took the remains of Angie's ashes. Most of them are done where the Epiphany was in Tarpon Springs. Okay. So I took a handful of her ashes and sealed them, and then buried them between my mom and dad's headstones. And then later I'll get a plaque. And so I took a handful of dirt, put a sprinkle in there. That's nice. So she's there laying next to mom and dad. Call her. Flora. Yes, our producer. Flora, you there?
Flora, how are you?
Hi, Flora Torrance, ladies and gentlemen. One of my producers at Cap Studios.
Hi, Ian. How you guys doing?
Good, Flora.
Hi,
Thanks for calling us.
Oh, well, I wanted to bring something up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Am I in trouble?
No, listen.
Okay.
Hakuna Matata. Does that say anything for today's date?
That's
it's the Lion King. Ian said he's never seen the Lion King.
I've never seen it.
But go on, Hakuna Matata.
No, I
it's
haven't.
A wonderful phrase.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's been 30 years ago today.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
30 years.
Hakuna Matata.
Well, God bless you too.
That is amazing.
I didn't know.
You know, the last show that we did, talking about the Lion King. Yes, what is what? Oh, Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Well, what's so funny is when Disney first started getting back their act together with animation and making it a 3D type of animation. The first one was Beauty and the Beast. And I went with my friend at the time, Evelyn Snow, a great gal. And we went on a matinee on midweek. And it's right above where Jimmy Kimmel does his show. And we were at the El Capitan in Hollywood. And they had a Christmas show. So they had like Radio City Music, Rockettes kicking up and Santa Claus and everything. Well, they had these big, lush, tall back seats, right? Really cushioned. And all of a sudden, I get a nudge. Someone's kicking my chair. And I want to look over and there's this foot sitting right next to my head. Uh-huh. And I go, dude. And as I said, dude, I turned around, look, and it was Doogie Howser. It was Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, wow.
And I go, dude, do you mind? And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize anybody was sitting in the chair. I said, would you do this at home? He goes, no, he kind of laughed about it. But the thing about it was he's one of these this is before he'd already done Doogie Howser. So he was like in his early 20s. And he was there with a friend. They were watching too. And it wasn't packed out or anything. So it was kind of a scattered audience. But they happened to be sitting right to my left and right behind me. But the whole time throughout the movie, because it was spectacular, seeing animation at that level. Now we're spoiled because we see everything that Disney does or Pixar or whatever. And we see how they 3-dimensionalize everything. And he kept sitting there going, ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
And what movie was that?
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
And so Evelyn turns to me and goes, would you tell him to shut up? I said, no, it's your turn. So I don't have the heart.
Man, Flora, that is so cool that you called in. So it's been 30 years since The Lion King
30
premiered.
30 years today. Yeah. And it was one of the most successful animated films.
Hey, do you remember where you were, Flora, when you first seen the movie?
No.
I was in a Florida drive-in.
Really?
Yeah. So you
when
had
they still had them back in your day?
I've said way back in my day. Yeah. We came to a Florida drive-in and we had rolled the window down and there's a box right there and we watched Lion King.
Yeah.
I was talking to my son. God. It's incredible.
How old was your son then?
Awesome.
Oh, no, that was when I was young. I was telling my son recently, our last show that we did, Flora, listen to this. I did a impression of make mine a Cub sandwich. What you think?
And
then Ian didn't know what the reference that was.
I had no idea. And I'm sitting here with my jaw open going, what the heck? Is she just losing her mind or something?
I told my son about this. I was just like, Scar, he was leading a revolution. And then, and then my son said, a shining new era.
Well, tell you what, Brandy. Let me ask you, do you like the drive-in?
Oh, yes, I do. Now, they have a drive-in here in Florida.
Isn't it on the other
right
side
there
of Tampa?
In Tampa, right
It's
there
on,
in
it's
Tampa.
over near the.
It's my neighbor town. It's Ruskin.
Rustman, yes.
Well, there's one closer on this side
What's it
off
called?
off of Hillsboro.
It's a
near the casino.
It's like it's not the flea.
The flea market.
It's not the flea market, but it's like an outside thing like that, right?
Could be.
That I'm not sure in Hillsboro. I know the one we have here in Ruskin. It's there's no flea market. Actually, it's right on 41. Like so, it's probably about 5 minutes from where I live in Apollo Beach.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna have to schedule that.
She's like,
yes.
Well, you see,
she's down there, the manatee viewing area in Apollo Beach. She's walking,
exactly.
They see all the manatees making out and stuff. You know.
Yeah, well, you call me a manatee then, because the way I watch drive-ins nowadays is not the way I watched it back in the day. we have bench seats in the car because drive-ins specifically.
And for what particular reason?
Let's just say we're not watching the movie.
Sure, you're not. Yeah, of course.
It's sick. I'm married.
I have to give a quick shout out to my son Jeffrey and his fiance Emily. Awesome. They just texted me they're listening on the radio. They couldn't for whatever not get it on YouTube. Which if you are watching YouTube, it's under ISEE Radio. Yes, and then on
Ian Stevens and Brandy Joy.
That's right, and ISEE Radio, which is 106.1 FM and 1340 AM. So Jeffrey and Emily, thank you for watching or listening.
Thank you, Jeffrey and Emily.
We love you. We were just talking about you and your godfather. Your godfather. Oh, come with friends. And give them off like come with feels. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Floor. Now, if you're not floor, you must be the ceiling. If you're not the ceiling, you're on she's siding on the side of the wall here. I'll give her an off like come with feels.
You have a knack for impressions.
I have a knack for, you hear that, Flora? I have a knack for impressions. Well, you know, when I told Mommy when we first got married, Ron Reagan here, I said, Mommy, I promise you, we're going to build you a beautiful house with a white picket fence. Well, that almost came true. We ended up in a big White House with a lot of pickets around our fence. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. Thank you. I love you. You guys are beautiful. Ed's in there going, what the heck are they talking about?
Look what I started.
Ed's going, hi. Gotta love it. Thank you, Ed. You're a great producer.
Oh, my goodness.
So
with that said, we're going to have Brandy over here to come visit me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I'll meet you at the drive-in.
Definitely. Do I bring the popcorn or do I have to use Jiffy popping to have the thing explode on me on the stove?
They got it.
The big aluminum ball.
Now, how cool would that be? A tailgating party.
That would be fun.
Drive-in.
That would be
amazing. Could we do a remote, do you think? That would be kind of fun.
Hey, perhaps.
Or just lock it in with YouTube and we just make it, separate from a Thursday night deal. We could do a weekend. Say weekend with Ian and Brandy. And of course, from Florida Season, Miss Floritorians.
Cap Studios.
Yeah, that's right. She's my senior producer. I have a group of producers and she oversees the 4 or 5 of them. And she's fantastic. She's so creative and so insightful. And
insightful indeed.
She's very insightful. And she picks up the trash that I leave behind. I don't say the trash.
Indeed. Like when you've not ever seen the Lion King.
That makes me trashy, Flora. You hear that? She's rubbing my face in the mud that I haven't seen the freaking Lion King.
It's all right. She has. So she seems like she's very supportive.
Okay, here's a question for both of you. Here's a question for both of you. What movie have you seen the most and how many times?
Probably The Lion King.
Seriously?
Yeah,
I can do
that's one of them
by word.
Okay, Flora, what would you say? What would you say, Flora?
Well, yeah, Lion King is one of my favorites.
Well, I know, but seriously, how many people? Oh, but the guys from the other show are taking videos of us because they love us so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. They're through the studio window. I mean, what particular one, Flora, that you know that you've seen a lot? You may like, it, but
no, seen.
Seen.
We
Which
can
one?
do every single line of The Lion King, I'm sure.
I'm sure you could.
Absolutely.
Oh,
so he means second. What's the second movie you see? Okay,
what's in your top 5?
Well, another one I could mention is probably Meet Joe Black. I don't know why, but
nice.
I only saw bits and pieces of it, but I like the premise of it.
Oh my gosh.
What? Why are you laughing at me for?
Because Meet Joe Black and mine was probably going to be Joe Dirt.
Oh, and then, is that like a sequence to that? Is that part of the series?
No, they're actually. So Joe Dirt is literally the redneck version of Meet Joe Black.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Flora, you definitely, Brandy, you guys got to do dinner. We got to take her out to Fens and have dinner with all of us. and she could bring her husband, and you could bring John, and I'll bring whoever decides that wants to date me, since I'm dateless right now.
All right, here's an impression.
Okay, here,
and you'll know who it is. I'm going to work
all
on
right,
it.
here's an impression. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Stephen, you at least know who it is. Hey, you're talking my guy here all wrong. Your tone's all wrong.
Is that from Goodfellas?
No, it's actually Joder's Christopher Walken.
Oh, you're talking about Christopher Walken.
You're talking my man here all wrong.
Here, you know, everything you got to do with Christopher Walken.
Do it again. I'm going to take off it. I'm going to stab you and throw the soldering iron.
You had this watch. Your father had this watch up his, you know what?
That was actually the third one. So it might be The Lion King, Joe Dirt, and then Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an acquaintance, a friend of mine, Dwayne Whitaker, through Dan Roebuck, who's one of my besties. And Dan's been practically everything. But Dwayne played Zeke, who was the pawn shop owner.
No way.
Yeah. And he was going, get your hand off the end. Get your hand off. Sir, this doesn't concern you, man. It does not concern you. He's got the rifle on. Bruce Willis telling him.
He belonged in the GIF outfit.
That's right, you know. But mine is, my favorite, well, my all-time favorite movie is Mr. Holland's Opus, but I've only seen it about 10 times. The two movies. That's a great movie. Oh, no. I'm going to tell you what I saw the most. You're going to I can't say.
Grease.
Well, I've seen Grease. Yeah.
All right,
I've seen Grease probably about 20 times.
I know you more than you know you, Ian.
The two movies. Shut up.
I did.
I'm going to smack you here in about 2 seconds.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the two movies I've seen over 50 times. One is I've seen 54 times, and that's Star Wars. And the second one I saw over 50 times. Oh my gosh, it just left me.
Grease.
No.
Grease 2.
I just had it. Oh gosh.
Titanic.
No. I'll ring my bell. Excuse me, can you get my bags, please? Gosh, I just had it in my head over 50 times. I've seen. Oh, Godfather.
Oh yeah.
Godfather.
Oh,
and every time if I'm flipping channels, and then no matter what scene it's in, it could be the beginning, middle, end. I'll stop and watch it. I'll just put the one. And I want you guys to know, and I'm no shame on your particular taste or what you like, but AFI, my alma mater, where I went to film school, American Film Institute in Hollywood, world renowned, they gave their top 100 list one time, and it was on AMC, and they did one series, or they did like from 100 to 75, and then 75 to 50, and so forth. So the final 25, and it was number one.
Godfather.
AFI was number one.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Whereas Grease is the number one movie musical of all time.
Yeah,
and that was notated. Gosh, almost 20 years ago when Jeff was still with us. And
I love musicals too.
Well, and we do too. Yes, we love musicals. But I have a funny backstory on Grease. I just turned 20, and I was still doing Jesus Christ Superstar at the time, and I had really long hair, longer than Brandy's. My hair was down about here, and a beard and mustache. And I was a song and dance man at that time. I was doing all musicals, did Vita Cats, but I was in the middle of doing Jesus Christ Superstar. And Jeff invited me down to see them shoot on a soundstage at Paramount. They were filming at the high school, at Venice High School, and they were also filming at Paramount lot. And they were doing the Grease Lightning scene. While I was there that day, Patricia Birch, who was the choreographer, and then she hired me to do Grease 2, which I did. But she was the director then. But here she was a choreographer. And she knew me through Jeff. And so Jeff said, "Oh yeah, you should get in and be in Grease Lightning because we need more people." So she's begging me. She's going, "Ian, I really want you to." Jeff High and and some of the other guys, Sean Whalen. I don't know, Sean Ryan. Excuse me, I forget that. And then Barry Pearl, who played Duty in the movie, they all knew me. So because we had done stuff on Broadway a short time, and then we're on regional theater company groups. So they were saying, "Yeah, Ian could do it." And so she was begging me, "Can you do it?" I go, "I can't." And she goes, "Why not?" I said, "Because I'd have to cut my hair and I have to shave my beard and mustache. I still got 2 more months committed to doing the show." And she was like so bummed out. Well, I sat back, and actually I posted a couple of times some pictures that I took while they were filming, and takes in between scenes. And just after they were getting ready to finish the scene, the chain cable that Jeff was sitting on the motor while the motor was turning and they were going over the cars or dreaming it to turn into this beautiful car, snapped, and he fell 10 feet and he compressed his discs. So they had to stop filming for almost 4 to 6 weeks. And so they did other scenes like the drive-in scene and the Woo Was Me, I'm Sandra D, those stuff that took weeks while Jeff was recovering. And then once he recovered, then they went back to it. But I'm sad to say that was the beginning of him being dependent on painkillers. Oh, hey, Flora, are you there?
Another
can we conference them in? Keep them conferenced? Okay, Ed says yes.
Excellent.
Dustin.
A recent.
Hey, Dustin's on the line.
Hey, Dustin, how's it going?
Dustin Wagner, ladies and gentlemen, he's an LT EMT down in Fort Myers, excuse me. And he's one of my producers on Caps. He's a brilliant actor, and he's going to be a nocturnal spirito at playing one of the ranch hands.
Is that his sign?
What?
Nocturnal spiritual.
Hi, Dustin.
How was your vacation, dude?
It was all right.
All right.
First time driving a RV. It was a Class A RV.
So were you watching the movie RV with Robin Williams when you were driving around?
No, not that time.
Probably put you in a panic if you saw it, because it's a funny movie, but very disastrous for anybody who wants to run an RV. Where did you go to, my friend?
Hey, where are you calling us from, even?
Oh, yeah.
Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
Fort Myers, yeah.
We get you way down in Fort Myers.
A little north of me.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We're just a little bit north of you.
Yeah.
So where did you go on your RV trip?
A place called Wallen, Tennessee. It's pretty close to Pigeon Forge. And
did you see Dollywood and stuff like that?
No, I didn't get to do that. I've got the family with me, and
you didn't stop into Dolly's house there in Pigeon Forge where she lives and say, hi, can we have a piece of your pie or something?
No, it was more so for things.
So was the majority of your RV trip all into Tennessee? I'm sorry.
Yes, it was all in Tennessee.
Okay. Well, you know what Tennessee is, what Arkansas. Sorry. I had to throw that out there. Well, you know what Delaware was in New Jersey. You know that.
I get
and
it.
when you say Hawaii, I say Idaho, Alaska. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah.
It's pretty uneventful to the end. Little did I know that the sun visor that you roll out can't really hold the rain. It doesn't shed anything off. It holds it instead, and then collects in the arm brake. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
So Dustin, let me ask you, this is all about entertainment. We talk about entertainment all the time, 24/7. What was the draw that got you into acting? But for those of you who don't know, Dustin's one of my many students. I've been able to coach and mentor. And Dustin, we've been talking probably the last half year and getting to know each other pretty well. What was the key ingredient for you that you decided you want to be a master thespian?
It's pretty much seeing people on screen having fun, looking at the behind the scenes and everybody enjoying themselves, and the camaraderie, and just the art of it. From where they start off in the process and all the way to the end product. It's a pretty neat process.
Was there a specific film or movie or like a show that you've seen that had you, like, that you remember that really changed your mind into that direction, or not changed your mind, but led you in that direction?
That very much inspired you.
Yes.
Probably True Lies. My brother was
really?
The building manager down in Miami for one of the buildings that they were filming at, and I was able to get behind the scenes and see Arnold Schwarzenegger. Very brief. It was one of those, we kind of saw him coming out of the elevator as we were going in the elevator, but I had one of those things that I got to see a little bit behind the scenes. Sorry, you're going to hear my little in the background.
We did. That's your fan. That's your number one fan right there.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'd be starstruck even if I see him come through the elevator.
Oh, I worked with him on the movie before.
He's one of my first crushes.
I worked on Kindergarten Cop, and we shot up in Astoria, Oregon, and then we shot on the backlot at Universal. I was one of the kid wranglers at the time. I was an administrative producer at Universal at the time, so I didn't get any credit, but that's okay. But one of the things I got to do, they said, because I used to be a playground supervisor, so I got to work with all the kid actors and rally them up and keep them busy in between scenes. So it was fun. I didn't do the whole movie. I did probably about a third of it. But yeah, Arnold was great to know, and he just, saying, maybe this gluteus maximus is not a tumor, and all this stuff is out there, it's great. So, well, good. That's cool.
So he's
man.
worked with you some, huh?
What's that?
He's worked with you. You said he was one of your students at one time.
Oh, Dustin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he still is. He still is a student. Yeah, I mentor. Now that he's back from vacation, we got to get back on the saddle again. Nothing like peer pressure,
Can I ask you a question, Dustin?
Well, that's right. Well, that's because Dustin's going to be one of the actors in Nocturnal Spiritual, that's a cast of Ben-Hur. It's a big cast. And so when we go up in hopefully the last 2-3 days of September and then the first 18 days of October, we'll be filming up in Spencer, Massachusetts.
Ooh.
So we're just waiting probably the next week and a half. We should get the green light for us fully funded and move forward. So that's what we're waiting on. We just finished what's called a pitch deck, which is usually a kind of like a book form of everything about the film. It's pre-development. And it kind of tells you, well, for those that want to invest, this is where the money, what the cost is, where the money is going, and then how you get your money back. Now, by law, we can never say, you're going to get a return on your investment because they know it's a risk.
Well, it sounds like Dustin's working. So
yeah, he is. So Dustin's helping us out. So we're getting corporate. We're looking for corporate sponsorship and also product placement. So Dustin, I know you're the man, and he set up our website. Did a brilliant job putting up the Cap Studios website.
What's the website?
It is capstudiosflorida.com. So if you go to that, their contact would be Dustin Wagner. He's my boy right here. So anybody that's out there that wants a little more great exposure, the genre, just to kind of give you a quick synopsis, it's about vampires and witches set back going through the ages of the 1600, the Salem witch trials up to the current, and then beyond, because vampire people are going to hate me because of what I'm doing at the end. But nonetheless, it's a Mel Brooks type. It's my homage to Mel Brooks.
Okay.
So when I wrote it with my co-writer, Lisa Camacho, I'm sure she's listening. She lives here in Florida or in Tampa area. We did it to where it's very slapstick. It's very Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Wayne's World, double takes to the camera, product placement, breaking of the fourth wall, schmaltzy sophomore humor. So one of our DP, Tammy Roebuck, who just did Velvet Hammer, which we're going to be releasing at the film festivals shortly this next coming year. She's been reading the script. She goes, "Guy is so funny." And I've been hearing nothing but great things. And I know, Flora, you read the script. I know. Dustin, did you read the script yet? I think you did. Yeah. So what did you guys think of it?
It is going to be epic.
I'm sorry?
It's going to be epic.
It's going to be
excellent.
epic.
That's a good
You hear that, general
huh?
public? You 4 million people out there in Tampa and you 40 million on YouTube. It's going to be epic.
Excellent.
I did get a respond back from a dear friend of mine, whose name I don't want to throw under the table, but he and I worked together at Universal and then at Paramount, and then he left Paramount. I went back to Universal. He went to 20th Century Fox and became the head of the studios for a while. He's since kind of semi-retired. I sent him the script to get his true opinion. And he calls me back. He says, "Ian, look, I've seen all your stage shows that you've directed and produced. I've seen all your TV stuff, and I've seen your recent films." He said, "If you shoot this film the way you wrote it," he says, "you have a comedy cult classic on your hands."
Wow.
Whoa. I mean, that just blew me away when he said that.
When can we expect this?
Well, we're shooting.
For the general public.
Yeah. We're going to do, let's see, we're shooting in September, October. Then post-production will be all the editing and the special effects and stuff. Takes a couple of months. So that's late spring. So we may do a pre-release, do like a pre-Halloween release, and then hope to release it next Halloween. So it'd be a year from this October, we do a release.
Hey, that's right around the corner when you're busy like that. It's going to go by
a year and a half will go by just like that.
Absolutely. It's almost not enough time. I'm sure it feels when the deadlines start coming.
Yeah, 23 was when we finished Velvet Hammer, and we just now, Tammy finished it up for release 2 weeks ago. I mean, because we had to do a little bit of adjustment. And I saw the final draft and I said, "Oh, we need to add this. We need to take this out. We need to make this a little bit longer." And she did her magic. She put her pixie dust on it and it looks magical and everyone loves it.
Y'all know both you and Dustin, y'all know a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And a question I have is, in like LA, let's just take I don't know how to say a typical movie, but let's say a movie like just another rom-com. About how long does it take for them to actually start the movie? I meant, like, how long does it generally take for them to make a movie?
You've got different stages. You have what's called pre-development and development, which is what we're in with Nocturnal. We're in pre-development. Once we get the funding, we're in pre-production. And And that means everything's set. We've got the cast, I got the crew, I got the locations. I just got to do some scouting, which I'll do next week.
I'm talking about from that moment. So they have the cast.
Right. So now that's still pre-production.
Okay.
So then once we film, that's production. And then you have post-production. It's all the editing, all the sound effects, the Foley artists, the sound, all the stuff, the GPS, all that, the GPS, the CGA. And then you go into distribution, and that's the time consuming. So find a good company that's going to marriage well to get your stuff out there. You got to go that route, or you can do the film festival route, gain interest from that, and then re-release it, and then foreign market. So to me, I'm really big on the foreign market because you can get a better return in, like, say, India, Brazil, Mexico, Europe, the BBC, which I have an attachment to. That'll do really well for us, and then I'll release it here in the States, and then I'll sell it to TV, whether it's Netflix, Amazon, Sci-Fi Channel, or whatever. Especially since it's comedy humor, or the comedy channel. So Comedy Central. Sometimes they do comedic movies, but a rom-com, I mean, it depends on how many cast members you have. Could determine the length of your production. So, like with Velvet Hammer, we shot that in two weekends on a Saturday, Sunday, in March and in May.
Oh, wow.
So we had to split up because Tammy's schedule didn't allow her to DP it, director of photography, and then she edited it when we were done. So, and it was a lower budget. Was considered on SAG as a micro budget level, which is the entrance level. Then you have low budget, micro budget, low budget, ultra low budget, and then standard budget. Standard budget for SAG is anything above 10 to 20 million.
Oh, goodness.
So so there's a lot of, so like I have with one movie, I'm in post-production with Velvet Hammer right now, and then with Nocturna, we're still in pre-development. Well, actually, almost pre-production, and then with another movie called Puppy, we're totally in pre-development, and then another one that I'm writing called Rescued Innocence, which is a human trafficking. That's my big epic one. That's about $50 million, and we're going to shoot all around Tampa. We're going to hopefully get some notables that I've been wooing through my connections in casting in Hollywood, through my buddy, Mark Palladini, who was on.
Yes, I called in our show about
that was the first
4
show.
weeks ago.
Was the second week we did him?
So it had been 5 weeks ago.
I don't know. Yeah. So he came on, and he's, puts package deals together. So he takes a script and then he shops it around and say, "Hey, Brad Pitt, what do you like it?" "Man, I'm gonna pass." Or, "Oh yeah, this looks interesting." And then they negotiate that, and then salary, and that helps me to then feel what kind of budget I'm looking at, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So it just depends. Each actor is different with their salaries because of what was called a Q rating, how much the audience responds to their imagery, that type of thing. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
So it's very entailed. People go, "Why does it take so long?" It just does. You've got so many steps to make a movie. I mean, my mentor was Sidney Pollack, and he when I first met him in his office at Universal, on his credenza, right behind his desk were his 2 Oscars, and one for producer and one for director for Out of Africa, 1985. It took him 5 years to film that movie, just to film it.
Yeah.
The reason being is because he was the political climate. So depending on who was the office in Uganda and Ethiopia and Kenya, could he go back and film? And he had to wait one time to go back. I think it was the Rift Valley in Kenya. He had to wait 1.5 years to go back because they wouldn't let him film.
Yeah.
Because the Secretary of Agriculture or Interior wouldn't let them film. And then when they got a new guy, he said, "Yeah, you can come in." Well, then what happens in 5 years, Robert Redford was aging.
That's kind of my thought. Like, after a while,
he got the wrinkles.
aging.
So if you in some parts of that movie, that was one of the pivotal movies in his career where you could see an age change a little bit because it was so long. The duration of filming, but they used what's called a star filter on the camera. Okay. So they softened his image up because Meryl Streep was like in her early 30s at the time, late 20s, early 30s, and he was well into his 50s. He's like almost 80 now.
Yeah.
So, and they were, they played lovers in the movie.
Yeah.
And it was based on a true story. But yeah, you could tell they used a little star filter. You can always tell a star filter from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. They don't use it much anymore because they have so many CGIs they can do to clean things up. Yeah. And spend editing is when you look at the eye. If you see a little crisscross light off the light reflection or sweat off the brow, if you see a little sparkle in it, that's a star filter.
Oh, see,
that's how you know they use to soften the image.
That kind of leads me to my next thing, guys. So, Dustin, from what you had said, it sounds like you really do like behind the camera stuff, the production, whatnot. But just as a question, do you like ultimate goal? What do you like more? Would you like more to be in front? It's kind of the same question for you too, Ian. Being in front of the camera or behind it? Which one do you prefer?
You first, Dustin. Go ahead, buddy.
I think I would like to do kind of a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I still work for the fire department, so
yeah.
You know, it's hard to get time off sometimes with the amount of personnel that we have and the spots available to take time off.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes it difficult. So I think a supportive role where I'm not the main character constantly on set, that you know, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
That sounds good.
I mean, eventually I'll retire and I'll be able to do it full time. And
well, let's think about the future for you, Dustin. So when you get to the point where you're retired in a couple of years from the fire department, and you're doing wholeheartedly as an actor or production crew, what do you want to do? A little bit of both, or do you favor one over the other?
I think I would prefer to do a little bit of both until I find my groove where I fit in better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it just takes time. Yeah.
Yeah, he answered it really solid with the whole, you know, being in both as not being the star role to where with his schedule, he can still be a contributing member.
Well, he's another Al Pacino, so I don't know if I'm going to stick him behind the camera.
I like that both. You know. That both. Well, what about you?
Well, I would say now I do like creating, I like directing. I do like performing still. As you know, when I sit here and I talk to you, we're ready to wind down here in the next 5 minutes.
You have 5 more minutes with y'all.
Oh, thank you. You know, it's like I really made a distinctive move in my career in 1988 when I got into production. I did my internship. I was a full-time actor, and I still did acting even after I got into production at Universal and did my internship, and then started working as line producer and, you know, going through the ranks over the years. But there's parts of me I still love, you know, improvising and comedy, and if I can move people emotionally or laughing, that's my goal. And it's like with Velvet Hammer, to see that end result, knowing what Tammy does, because she and I sync so well as a director, editor, and that's the magic of being able to pull the people together and help to create the story. And if I can be moved to tears watching a 30-minute proof of concept /pilot,
you should see The Lion King.
No, you should see Velvet Hammer. I'm gonna get Velvet Hammer over to you tonight. I'll get it over to you tonight.
Hey, that's both of our homeworks. You'll see The Lion King, and then I'll watch Velvet Hammer.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I mean, Floor, tell me. I mean, Floor and Dustin, you both saw Velvet Hammer.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think? I mean, don't get a long dissertation because I don't want to give away too much to the audience.
Oh yeah, I don't want to hear the ending.
What if you just say in a few words, what would you say, Floor, that when you saw Velvet Hammer, what'd you think?
Well, I can say I'm not like extremely a person of Western. My husband is, but with that said, it was a great film.
Okay.
It moved me.
Next, it moved you.
It moved me, and I actually ended up crying at the end of the film. I
did my job.
Excellent. Looking forward to this.
Well, we're doing a premiere, but it's tentatively set. We're tentatively set for August 18th, which is Monday night at the Tampa Theater. So hopefully we get all the paperwork and contracts done this next week so we can lock that in. And then we'll have complimentary tickets that you still have to sign up through the website. Don't do it now. We will give a formal announcement on Facebook and social media for everyone to come and enjoy the night. And we're going to do a Gatsby theme. So you get to dress up in Gatsby, girl.
Excellent. Thank you both for calling.
For that, Brandy.
Oh, yes.
Definitely. Well, guys, Dustin, thank you so much for calling in, my friend. And Flora, always nice and forever.
To you both.
And we'll look forward to our the part of being in production, Brandy, as we have a production meeting with my team on Sunday night. So I know Nidra's listening. I know Jack is listening. I know Debbie is listening.
Yes.
Dustin, everyone here, bing, bing, bing. Meeting on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Is it 7 or 8 p.m.?
It's going to be at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Sunday.
So you guys tune in. So thanks, you guys.
Excellent.
And
Thank you all your
wrap
listeners
up
for
here.
listening
So we'll bid you a farewell fondue.
Yes.
And then I got to go to Burger King and get my daughter a Whopper before I get home. Gee whiz.
Right.
Forget about watching the show, but I got to get her a Whopper. All right, guys, we're going to say goodbye to you. And
Goodbye,
I'll
everyone.
talk with you later.
Yes.
And then Brandy, you are You are here. You're incredible.
Mhm.
And thanks for being my sidekick, or I'm your sidekick. I don't know. All I got to say is every once in a while you talk about
Partners.
impersonations, I want to do like, all right, we're going to the Wolfman Jack. All right, ooh, I listen to the Wolfman. That's right, the Wolfman Jack's right here. We're going to listen to the top 10 and the bottom 50. How? Right on.
Right here at tantalknetwork.com.
That's right. It's
Tantalk Radio.
106.1 FM and 1340 AM and ISEE Radio on YouTube. We are archived. So you folks, be sure to tune in. You can watch it at your leisure. And we will see you on the radio and see you on the playground next Thursday at 8 p.m.
Indeed.
Tune in. I love you, Brandy. You love me too? Oh, she loves me.
Signing out.
She
Brandy
loves me.
Joy
She really
signing
loves
out.
me.
I love our audience.
I love you guys. ISE Radio. God bless. Have a great week. Be safe.
Lonely sailors